truly, I am truly grateful to be able to stand here before you today. And as I sat and listened to my mother talk about her pain and the things that she has been through, you know, I want to just reflect back on my earliest remembrance of pain. And at one point, I thought my pain started when I first got my ears pierced. But now as I sat there, God said, no, that was not your earliest remembrance. Your earliest remembrance is in the womb. And I want you to walk with me. Because when my mother got pregnant with me, and then she had me, she had pain all through carrying me because her mother didn't want her to have me. So she began to take things to get rid of me. So that was pain. Yes. So now I want to talk about coming out of the womb, and now that I'm here, when my auntie tried to get rid of me, gave me something in my milk and put me to sleep, where they thought that I was dead. So I'm talking about pain. I heard Winona speak about how many need a healing in their lives. Well, I'm going to tell you about me and that I needed a healing in my life. Yes. You're talking about a woman back then that came up in a dysfunctional family. Yeah. All right. You're talking about when the home was full of partying, gambling, drugs, bisexuality, homosexuality. I was in this environment. So I'm talking about pain. I'm talking about a mother who introduced me to this lifestyle. I'm talking about as a child, I was introduced to this by my mother. I began IV drug using at the age of 12 years old. I put a needle in my arm at the age of 12 years old because I was introduced to pain by my mother, thinking that this was the way to go. And because I was love-starved and I wanted my mother, and because the drugs had my mother, the women had my mother, the alcohol had my mother, the men had my mother, I wanted my mother. So I had to do the things that my mother did because I wanted my mother. Teresa, do you know what I'm talking about? When we're talking about pain, I starved for my mother. I wanted the love of my mother. So I began to shoot drugs. It was a year later before she found out about it. And then when she found out about it, we became best buddies. We was best buddies. We began to stick up together. We began to pimp women together. We began to burglarize together. We began to play paper together. So I'm talking about falling in the shoes of my mother. Every time I stand here and I just think about the goodness, I think about the pain, I'm standing here thinking about all the tears that I shedded in my life because of the pain that I had endured. You was not there when I OD'd. You was not there when I had a needle stuck in my breast. You was not there when I picked my toenails off because I was tweaking. You was not there. I was tweaking. I took all my toenails off. My toes were swollen. I had to tie my feet on the shoes when I went hustling. I was scooting down the street because my toes were so swollen. You was not there when I was standing in a pool of blood because of the lifestyle that I lived. I thought I was a man. My whole mind was wrapped up in a man. I dressed like him. I looked like him. I walked like him. I had women in the daytime who stole from me, but they prostituted at the nighttime. So I'm not excited about that lifestyle that I lived. But as you hear me tell this story, and you're going to find out today. Because you was not there when I stood in that pool of blood. You was not there when the word of God came to me and told me, Denise, you don't have to die like this. See, standing there with my arms open up, both arms cut, hand hanging off, standing in a pool of blood, literally feeling my life slipping away. But the voice came and said, Denise, you don't have to live like that. And I stood there and I began to beg God, Lord, don't let me die like this. Lord, I can't go out like this. What would my family see? How would my family see me? Don't let me leave like this, Lord. Have mercy on me. I don't want to die like this. I can't die like this. And as I stood in that blood, and I began to beg for my life, in 1986, guess what he did? He drew me in. God drew me in. He cleaned up my life. And he told me, Denise, you don't have to live like that no more. You don't have to look like a man no more. You do not have to be a dope fiend or a crackhead no more. You don't have to burglarize no more. You don't have to play paper no more.
All right now.
He said, but I got a new thing for your life. He changed me. He went down on the inside. And he did a washing and a cleansing of my heart. He began to give me a desire to want to look like a woman. He began to give me a desire to want to live like a woman. He gave me this mind and this appetite to stand before you today looking like the woman of God that he is yet making me to be. Turn around after dropping out of school, send me back to school. I achieved my GED. And it felt so good that I went on to my bachelor's degree. It got even greater. I said I could go a little bit higher. Start skipping on over there and got my master's degree. So I'm sitting here today talking about how good my God is. And so because God did those things in my life, I wanted to write a story. And this book that is titled, Who Said It Couldn't Be Done, has been written because I want somebody else to know that they don't have to live the way they choose to live. So today I'm standing before you. I have 25 years of deliverance in my life. It's been 25 years since I laid with any woman. It's been 25 years since I shot dope. I've been standing in this good gospel ever since God drew me in and cleaned up my life. Now I'm working in the substance abuse field. As you heard Renona say, she out here being disobedient to her parents, hollering way down the block, what's up, what's happening. Now she's in the school system dealing with the children who were doing what she was doing. But now God has placed me in the field of substance abuse. So I am a substance abuse and a HIV counselor today. So I'm grateful to say that I know that God has truly been good to me. The songwriter say, who need a healing? Well, guess what? God did just that. He healed my sick soul. And today I appreciate that. And I thank you all for this opportunity to be able to stand before you and share God's great work in my life.